Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. On today's video, we're going to be talking about two new movies again. One that's in theaters and one that's streaming. That way, whether you're going out to the theaters or you're staying in, I got some info for you. Let's get into it. The first one I'm going to talk about is They Will Kill You. This one actually took me off guard because I went into it completely blind. I actually watched the trailer after I watched the movie, and the reason for that is because I really just didn't want any spoilers on this one. I wanted to go in blind and just see what I thought about it, and I have to tell you, I'm really glad that I did. This one is really like a melting pot of so many different movies. I can't really even begin to tell you. Before I get into my thoughts on it, IMDb, the overall rating for this one currently when I'm making this video is a 6.5. You can go on there, read ratings, check out reviews. Most of the time when I look at them, I'll see and gauge based on what I'm reading if a person sounds like my type of movie watcher, if they kind of resonate with things that I would say or think possibly. That usually gives me a good idea on whether or not I want to see something. It's not scientific. Does it always work? No. But I highly recommend checking that out if you're not sure at all whether you're going to see a movie or not, and you really just kind of want to get some sort of idea on what it's about or what it's like. Immediately watching this movie, I wasn't sure where it was going, what was going to happen. I love that in a movie. I think I've told you guys that in multiple videos. Anytime a movie can keep me guessing or on my toes, chef's kiss. I love that. It is one of the main reasons that I love horror so much, is because unlike most other genres, usually for the most part, you can't really predict everything that's going to happen. On some you can, of course, especially if it follows a certain recipe, but every now and then you can get shocked and surprised, and you really are kept on your toes, which I really greatly appreciate about the genre. And this movie is like an amalgam of so many different things, and I say that in a good way because it immediately reminded me so much of Kill Bill, and I love that because I really do enjoy the movie Kill Bill 1 and 2. I love the female strong protagonist in a movie, so this one having that was really a nice surprise. Immediately while watching this movie, I did think, man, this actress would be perfect if they did another movie on the Kill Bill franchise that centered around Vivica Fox's daughter getting revenge for her mother's death. Honestly, shoo-in for the role. But anyway, heavy vibes of Kill Bill, but also reminded me a lot of Ready or Not. They both have a similar vibe, so it's kind of like if those two movies clashed together, what would happen? That's this movie. So if you liked either one of those movies, I highly recommend checking this one out. Even if you don't see it in theaters, you should watch this movie. Some other movies that I feel like this movie gives subtle nods to, whether intentionally or not, I don't know for sure, but it did remind me of Death Becomes Her and also of Beetlejuice. And when you see this movie, if you haven't, you'll see why. And I hope that you come back in the comments below and let me know if you spotted the moments that I'm talking about and why it reminded you of that, so that way we can talk about it. But anyway, it had those little hints that just made me laugh out loud watching the movie because I was like, what the? But in a positive way, and I really like when a movie can do that and kind of surprise me. So if that's something you care about or like in movies, and again, if you like things like Death Becomes Her and Beetlejuice, then I think you would find something to like about this movie too. Now let's get into my usual movie tests. The first one I'm going to talk about is the trailer test. So I know I just mentioned that I did not watch the trailer before I went to the movie. That's because I just kind of read what the movie was about and said, okay, I want to watch it. Now, I went back and watched the trailer afterward, and I just thought, yeah, this really does sum it up. The only thing that I would say was a negative about the trailer is it honestly gives away a little much for my liking. So again, that's why I'm glad that I didn't watch it, because honestly, this movie, you don't need a trailer. The movie's worth watching, in my opinion, with or without a trailer. So you should absolutely do what you want. Watch the trailer if you want to, don't if you don't. But I do think that it passes the trailer test because the trailer does give you everything you get in the movie and then some. It definitely passed. The husband sleep test. This is another one that I do, and it is to gauge whether or not my husband, who is a sleepy movie watcher, whether that be you or whether that be the way that the person that you watch movies with happens to be. Well, if they are a sleepy watcher, this is the test to pay attention to. In this one, my husband absolutely did not stay awake. Unfortunately, it did fail. The reason for that is because somewhere along the plot, my husband just lost interest entirely. So really, that's a matter of taste, I would say. If the storyline keeps you engaged, then you'll probably pay attention and stay awake. However, if the plot loses you like it did my husband, then you will not stay awake. You will probably crash out immediately toward the middle somewhere. So be warned. And the funny thing I found about that is that this one, compared to a lot of the ones we watched recently, has a lot of action to it. So I anticipated he was going to be alert and awake, and absolutely not. So again, if the plotline loses you and that is a problem for you to stay awake, then take that as you will. And the next test that I'm going to talk about is the balance test, which very much ties into what I was just talking about. In my opinion, it absolutely passes the balance test because there is action non-stop. Once it starts, it absolutely keeps going the entire time. The beginning parts that are a tiny bit slower than the rest have enough storyline and enough engagement in them that it's not going to lose you. You're going to keep wanting to pay attention. However, toward the middle, again, if you're particular about the way the storyline goes and if certain things can make you stop caring about the characters, then you may snooze. However, in my opinion, balance test was great. It's nonstop action pretty much throughout. And for me, that is exactly what is needed to pass. Would I rewatch this movie and buy it? 1000% yes. I own the Kill Bill movies. I completely enjoy something that is dark humor / horror / a little samurai, but ultimately also girl power centric. That's a lot of things put together that I really enjoy and think there can never be too much of. So I will definitely be watching this one again and buying it when it comes out, preferably in 4K. Overall, what did I rate the movie? My overall rating for this one is a 7 out of 10. And here's why. I don't feel like it was as strong as some movies because of the ending. So a movie can sometimes hang or soar based on the ending. This one, I will say the ending kind of lost me a little, and once you see it, you'll definitely understand what I'm saying. And if you have seen it, let me know in the comments below how you felt about the ending and the big reveal, if you know what I'm talking about. That just, I don't know. I guess I was kind of perplexed by it, to be honest. I didn't really know what to do with what a certain character kind of looked like or what they revealed. I'm even getting lost for words right now trying to explain it. So because of that, it just kind of, I don't know, it got muddled for me toward the end, and that's the only reason why I didn't feel like it was a stronger rating. But because of all the other aspects to it, and because I think the rewatchability is off the charts for sure, that's why I think it's a 7 out of 10. Next one I'm going to talk about is Psycho Killer. I didn't really know much about this one. I had kind of heard murmurings online that this one was going to come out, but I didn't really hear too much about it besides the fact that it was being produced by the same people who brought Barbarian, and I enjoyed Barbarian, so I thought, okay, well that's interesting. And then when I saw that it was the same actress, I hadn't gotten around to seeing it in theaters, but I finally got around to streaming it, so I wanted to talk about what I thought and felt about it, so that way you guys know. IMDb currently has this one at a 4.7. Youch. So that's kind of low for a horror movie. When I started watching this one, I did kind of get Zodiac vibes, which got me pretty excited because the Zodiac movie is incredible. I hate that it had to be about real life murders. That part is horrendous. However, the way that movie is done is just really well written. It is long, but I really like watching it because of the investigative side of it. Either way, this one kind of had Zodiac vibes meets Hard Eyes is the best way that I can put it. Those are the two main movies that came to mind while I was watching this. And if you've seen it and you think the same thing or you got the same vibes, let me know in the comments below. Or if you thought of another movie that was more prevalent to you when you saw it, also let me know. Part of what I also was kind of disappointed by was I didn't really feel like this one ever really achieved super scary. Not at all the way that a lot of other movies do, where you kind of hit a very scary part here or there, whatever means to catch the killer comes, and then, you know, you hit the climax and then the ending, right? Well, this one I feel like never really achieved that scary, only creepy at best, I would say. I think there was a whole lot of potential that just felt underdeveloped or underrealized. And it got undercut by some things that just rubbed me the wrong way. For example, the voice of the killer just sounded, it just was too cartoony in my opinion. All I kept thinking when he would speak was of The Undertaker or another WWE character, which is not bad if you're wanting to watch wrestling. Absolutely, I understand. But if you're trying to watch a scary movie and you're trying to get into a serious moment, it just completely pulled me out of it for it to remind me of that. And if you felt the same way, let me know. As far as the trailer test, I think this one was an absolute fail because the trailer is beautiful. The trailer is great and it completely makes you think you're gonna see something dark and ominous and possibly like creepier than a lot of the recent scary movies. And when you watch it and you don't ever hit that, it just leaves you feeling empty-handed. So for me, it was a fail. But the husband sleep test, it actually passed. And that's because regardless of how many plot lines kind of went into nothing or never really developed, my husband still wanted to know what was going to happen. So that kept him engaged enough to watch it all the way through to the end. So if you are a sleepy watcher, the storyline, at least according to him, will keep you engaged and awake. Balance. So for the balance test on this one, I feel like it was a fail. I feel like there was too many plot holes and things that just never developed the way they should have, in which case, why were they there? I don't understand when a movie heavily like implies something but then never really fully explains it or gives you the why behind it. It's just kind of like smelling cookies baking and never getting to eat them. That's how I feel about the situation, but you may feel differently, but I do feel like it failed the balance test for that reason. Would I rewatch and buy the movie? So I'm pretty sure you could probably tell by now. The answer to that is no. Unfortunately for me, I don't think this one is one that I have to rewatch ever again. It's kind of a one and done. Once you've seen it, that's good enough. Perhaps if it ends up being free to watch on a streaming service or something along that line, I might. Or if somebody else wants to watch it while over at my house, perhaps. But otherwise, I don't see myself watching it again. What did I overall rate this movie? I gave it a 5 out of 10. It just really never developed enough on so many levels that I just couldn't get behind it. It was kind of like if you took the good parts out of Silence of the Lambs, the original one with Jodie Foster's character, and some of the inspiration for the killer in Hard Eyes, and then splashes of some of the inspiration in Zodiac or the vibe of Zodiac, and kind of just mushed them together and rushed through the writing, then that's kind of what this felt like. So while there are some really good moments of cinematography and some of the kills are pretty interesting as far as the way that they did them, overall it just really fell flat to me. So that's why I could only really give it a 5 out of 10. If you've seen either one of these movies and you want to tell me what you thought about it, please let me know in the comments below. And again, if you are not a subscriber, please consider hitting that subscribe button and hitting that like button if you like this content. See you in the next video. Bye guys.